So what's good, everybody? And it's Crazy J, baby. And I want to welcome you to my podcast, Crazy J's World. Yep, Crazy J's World. I got my sound effects working again. Yeah, I'm happy. They're working again. So I just want everybody to know that I have this thing called the Vocaster 1. I got new headphones with it. It's got a mic, but I'm not using that mic. I'm still using my old Fine mic that I like. But yeah, no, I hooked it up and I was hoping it would work, and guess what? It does. I can control the sound of my voice. I can make it louder or lower. I gotta still play around with first time ever using it. So just bear with me this episode if it's not the best, but the headphone, like the sound is crazy. My camera looks really good. So I'm very excited. It's like things are starting to get a little bit better. They're starting to get a little bit better. Let's give another clap. We're getting good here. I'm getting more comfortable, feeling good. So today I wanted to talk, about recovery again. So I was doing some, research before the meeting. I'm sorry, the podcast. I'm so used to meetings, with AA and NA and everything. I also wrote a little poem, but I think I'm going to fix it up. But I'm going to read it to everybody. And anybody who listens, please comment on it. Tell me what you actually think about it. I think I might change some stuff in it. It's just a rough draft, but I wanted to read it. I just wrote it like about an hour ago. So I called it Addiction of the Mind, which is an addiction poem. So I'm going to read it out, and then in the comments on my channel, please, comment. Let me know what you think of my poem, because I just wrote this. I'll even show you the paper. That's it. So it goes, again, Addiction of the Mind. Addiction hurts. Addiction's hell. Addiction sucks. Addiction knows well. Addiction smiles. Addiction has no sorrows. Addiction follows. Addiction has no mottos. Addiction laughs. Addiction gains. Addiction can be a deadly game. Addiction controls. Addiction makes you choose. Addiction makes you scared. Addiction makes you lose. Addiction makes you not think. Addiction makes you suffer time and time again. Addiction has no face. Addiction has no sights. Addiction kills. Addiction ruins lives. Yeah, it does. Addiction thrives on our minds. Addiction is the master. Addiction is the helper. Addiction is the ruler. Addiction is the teacher. Addiction is the student. Addiction is the system into which we put it. Addiction runs everything. Addiction can stop you. Addiction crushes your dreams before you knew you had them. Addiction doesn't criticize. Addiction doesn't take sides. Addiction plays the game until it's time. Addiction comes and addiction stays. Addiction messes with your brain. Addiction crushes. Addiction screams. Addiction distracts. Addiction takes dreams. Addiction has so many faces. Addiction has so many voices. Addiction makes you dead. Addiction can be stopped. Addiction can be dropped. Addiction can go away if we pray. Addiction is not forever if we follow the 12 steps of recovery. So yes, I wrote that about an hour ago. I'd really like to know what people think about it. I think it's pretty good. I'm not saying that because I wrote or anything. I'm just saying because now I'm reading it, I don't know. I'm going to look more deeper into it, but I think it's pretty good. Really enjoying my setup here, man. I'm starting to feel more and more better with this. This camera is crazy. I mean, I can't get over how good the picture looks. So today I wanted to talk about just for today, living the program. I printed this out and I laminated it because I have a laminator. So just for today, living the program. So it says, tell yourself, just for today, my thoughts will be on my recovery. Living and enjoying life without the use of drugs, and I added alcohol because this is from the NA book. So they don't put alcohol, but I did it because I'm an alcoholic addict, and there's going to be people out here that are just alcoholics that are listening to this that need this comfort. Whatever you're addicted to, it's an addiction. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, food, it's all addictions. Everybody has an addiction. Everybody out there is addicted to something. They might not want to admit it, but they are. Just for today, I will have faith in someone in NAAA who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. Excuse me. Just for today, I will have a program. I will try to follow it to the best of my ability. Just for today, through NA and AA, I will try to get a better perspective on my life. Just for today, I will be unafraid. My thoughts will be on my new associations, people who are not using and who have found a new way of life. So as long as I follow that way, I have nothing to fear. That is just for today, living the program. It's in the book, the NA book, the AA book. Yeah, I was going to read a little out of the book, just a little bit. So this is my NA book. I love this book, by the way. I have the AA2 book, the big book. So that was this part right here. And I wrote it down and I printed it and I laminated it because I like to keep stuff like that, because it's good. It's good to have stuff like that, especially if you're connected with something. And I'm connected with recovery. Recovery is me. Crazy J's world is recovery. That's why I named my channel the name Crazy J's World. Because, when people, the thing I told you about me being Crazy J. But the thing is, when you're in this podcast with me, you're in my world. And this is a recovery world. So I want people to understand that was why I came up with the Crazy J's World. And I really think it's appropriate for my channel and my podcast. So I'm not going to read, what it says because it says the living, but I'm going to read the rest. So it says, we admit that our lives have been unmanageable, but sometimes we have a problem admitting our need for help. Our own self-will leads to many problems in our recovery. So to me, that's saying sometimes it's hard to reach out for help. I've had times where I wanted to reach out and I was scared because of judgment, being scared that people are going to be like who I am and why I'm like this. And I'm going to get things told to me and you're a loser, you're just a junkie, you're an addict, you're nothing, you're a waste. I've heard all that. So there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that, this is an illness. It's not like I chose to get up and use pills every day when I was using pills, or I had to drink every day until I was blacked out drunk and remember what I did. I craved drugs and alcohol. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't understand, when an addict's going through. Man, those cravings were horrible. Picture this, waking up when I was using pills, for instance, okay, opiates. Now, once you get hooked, imagine waking up every day with the flu. Every day you have the flu until you put this chemical in your body to make you not feel like you have the flu. Okay, so basically that's what opiates is. When you withdraw from opiates, it's like having the flu. And then when you put opiates back in your body, the flu's gone. It's like the flu cure. It's wild to me how that even works. I remember waking up, I'd wake up, my legs would be cramped up, my stomach would hurt, I'd have a headache, I'd feel like I was going to throw up, all this stuff, And then when I would put some opiates in my body, I was fine. Opiates are horrible. It just, it puts such a trap on you. It pulls you in, man, and it sucks you in and it holds you so much that you don't know how to get out. And then when you go without opiates for a while, you get really depressed. It messes with the serotonin in your brain. That's why people take Suboxone and methadone. I'll tell you right now, when you take methadone, when you're withdrawing, you feel a lot better. I didn't want to get on methadone. I'm on Suboxone. I've been on it for a long time. I'm not ready to get off it yet. Eventually I will. But that's my choice. And I don't take a lot of it. I take a tiny bit a day and that's all I do. And I've been sober ever since. So, if people are going to listen, they might judge me because I'm on it, but that's your problem. I'm sober and I'm going to do what I do to stay sober. If you have a problem with me taking Suboxone, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. That's my choice. And my choice is to take it. And until I decide it's not, I'm going to take it. But yeah, I'll tell you, man, the life of an addict is a wild life. And I'm not telling anybody who's on it, please don't try living it because I wish I didn't live it. But I don't. You know what? I'm glad I lived my life. I wish I could have changed some things in it that happened, with my kids, because I wasn't in their life a lot. I was in their lives and I stayed in their lives even when I was away. But I didn't get to be here with them. You know what I mean? And it was hard because I missed them so much. My kids they mean so much to me. I try to be the best father I could be now. And sometimes it's hard because I feel like I'm failing them. I still feel like I'm failing them now. My job, I have a decent job. It's not, I don't make a ton of money, So we struggle. We're poor. I'm poor. And I've been poor most of my life. So I don't know what it's like to be able to like pay your rent on time or pay your bills and not struggle. I mean, my electric was turned off last year. Like these are things that I've went through and I still go through them even in recovery, like just because you get sober doesn't mean everything gets like a million times better. Like it only gets better to a certain extent, which is what you need it to be, because once you're sober, man, the world gets so much better. And maybe I said that wrong and I apologize. But yeah, I'm still living, in poverty. Like I'm poor. I know a lot of us out there are, and I'm not trying to, do this thing to make $1 million or get found and be rich. I mean, if I get found, that'd be really cool. I really would love to be found. I'm hoping somebody out there sees my content and thinks I got something, because I don't know if I do. Like I'll come on here and keep talking and talk my butt off and tell people what they need to hear about the life of an addict, because I'm an addict. I'm in recovery. I'm an alcoholic addict. I can say it all day. I love saying it. I am an alcoholic addict, and I'm proud of that. To this day, I'm proud of being an alcoholic addict, because my life, it would not be where it is if I wasn't. Like I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk about it. I don't even know if I could do this podcast, because I don't know if I had a perfect life, what I would even talk about. Like I want people to listen to the real raw stuff. That's what I feel like people maybe need. Maybe there's people out there that need that. I know I need it. Sometimes you need a kick in the ass. You know what I'm saying? So, where did I get to? Oh, problems in our recovery. So, yeah, we admit that our lives have been unmanageable. My life was horribly unmanageable. But sometimes we have a problem admitting our need for help, and that's a big thing, man. There's a lot of people out there that would rather struggle than answer. I hate asking for help, even now. Like, it's not even about the recovery thing. Like, I ask hating people to do things for me. Like, someone would be like, oh, why didn't you ask me for a ride? Because I don't drive right now. I don't have my license at the moment. And I'm like, I didn't want to bother you. Like, I don't like asking people for anything. I have this thing that helps me with, my personal life. These people, they're really great. They're a program. I'm not going to say what they are, but they're a program and they help. And they'll tell me, ask me like, why did, and they'll give me rides and everything else. And then when I don't ask them and I do something on my own, they're like, why didn't you ask for help? Like, that's what we're here for. And I'm like, because I don't want to. I don't know if it's like a stubborn thing. I mean, when I'm at work, I don't like asking for help. I don't like asking for help. I don't know if it's because I'm an addict and all the using I did, that all the people I asked, I've hurt so many people and I've used so many people when I was using, that now when I'm sober, it's weird to ask people for help. Sometimes you need to ask people for help. Sometimes I have to learn that myself. That's a big thing in recovery. There's a lot of people out there that want to get sober, but they're afraid to ask for that help. Like they actually know they want to get sober. And they're like, how do I go about asking for help? Like, what do I do to get help? Because they're scared to ask for it. If you're out there, listen to me. If you're out there and you happen to come across this and you're listening to this, you freaking matter. You ask for that help, because you could be another statistic. If you're really ready to get sober, ask for help. Just ask. There's people out there, I would love to help. I personally would love to help you get sober. I have almost 10 years sober. Not actually, I'll have 9.5 years in like 3 days. 9.5 years. That's awesome. I can't believe that. I want to give myself a clap for that, because I'm proud of myself for that. Almost 9.5 years. That's crazy. Yeah, this might be a little bit longer podcast. I wanted to talk a little bit. I'm like in a talking mode. I guess you could call it a talkie mode. I don't know. All right, let's read a little bit more. Okay. So it says, we want and demand that things always go our way. Yeah, we always want, as addicts, we always want everything to go our way. I've always wanted everything to go my way. I mean, things don't always go your way. How many times things didn't go my way things don't go my way now in recovery. So, they didn't, a lot of times they didn't go my way when I was using. So yeah, we still have that mindset. But the problem too is when you first get sober, you still have that using mindset. Like I'm trying to think, mine probably went away after a year. Like the first year, my mind was still in that using mindset. I was still manipulating people, even though I wasn't meaning to. I was still being, I guess, grimy, you could say. But I was getting better. Each day I was healing. You heal every day. That's why, like I said, they call it recovering. because you're recovering every day. You will never, ever stop recovering. It doesn't matter how many times you do the 12 steps. You're never done with this. The day you're done is the day you die. And you die a clean, sober person. But you're never going to, you don't just think, you don't just say, oh, I got 5 years sober, I'm done with it. I did it. Oh, I did the 12 steps. Did them, I'm good. I mean, if you think you're good, then go for it. But you might be singing in a different tune when you come back. Because that's what happened to me. I've tried doing this a couple times, and finally this is the time that's working. I mean, sometimes it works the first time, and sometimes it takes 20 times. But eventually, hopefully you get here. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see. We should know from our past experience that our way of doing things did not work. Exactly. It did not work. We should know from our past experience that our way of doing things did not work. Hell no, it didn't work. If it worked, I wouldn't be sitting here saying I'm an alcoholic addict. Right? It would not be like, hey, guys, I'm an alcoholic addict. The way I was living was working. Was it working for you? Because it didn't work for me. I mean, there was times, I guess, things did work out. Sometimes things do work out, but it didn't work. There was like a second job. Like, trying to use and drink is like a second job. You have to put so much work in it, especially to get drugs, because you're dealing with like drug dealers and stuff, so it's like a whole different thing. Like, at least alcohol, you can just go to the bar and get drunk because it's legal, But drugs, on the other hand, is a little harder. And then when you go out and you can't find any, or you go in places where you don't want to go to get drugs, it's pretty bad. Bad things happen. Drugs is evil. Drugs are evil. The principle of surrender guides us into a way of life in which we draw our strength from a power greater than ourselves. And that's what happens. So when you find the power greater than yourself in your recovery, like your higher power, you might not have peace at first because, you have to give your higher power time to work. You have to go to meetings. Like, I recommend, man, definitely, like, in 90 days, do 90 meetings in 90 days if you can. If you can. Not everybody can do that. Some people get started themselves a job. They have responsibilities. They're a parent. So just do as many meetings as you can. The first year is the most crucial year of your recovery. At least I think it is. Because if you can stay sober for a year, you can keep doing it. The first year, your brain's changing, like you get in there, they call it the pink cloud. I remember I was in the pink cloud. I remember it was like 3 or 4 months in, and I was loving it. But I was still confused. But I was on that pink cloud. And then I came off that pink cloud and started realizing that this is real. I have a real problem, and it's going to get harder as I go. And it did. But the first year, it gets hard. But after that first year, man, if you can make it that first year, it gets so much easier and it gets so much better. Things get better. You don't have a lot of the fears that you had go away. You make real, genuine friends in recovery. Like, when you start going to meetings, man, people start knowing your name. They're not out to know who you are, to steal from you or rob you or hurt you or use you. They're actually genuine people in these rooms. You go to this meeting, your first time in a meeting, right? Nobody knows you. You've never been in here. You go in. You may be going before the meeting starts, and you're nervous, so you go and you just sit down, and the most amazing thing happens because you'll be surprised, especially, and I recommend going to a smaller meeting, your first meeting, but you go in the meeting and someone's going to spot you out and they're going to notice that you've never been there before. You're just going to tell. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb just by your body language. You are. I know from personal experience. And someone's going to come over and they're going to introduce themselves. We're just going to say, me. Hi, how you doing? I'm Chris. What's your name? You might tell me, you might not. I'm going to be like, oh, you're new here, huh? All right. Well, welcome to the meeting. Glad you're here. Please stay. Please come back. And then you're going to hopefully stay for the whole meeting. You're going to hear something you have to hear. And after the meeting, that person, like me, maybe possibly is going to go back up to you and say, thank you for staying for the meeting. I hope you enjoyed it. We love you. We want you to come back. You're always welcome here. And the cool thing about meetings is even if you go back out, you got time, you go back out and you reuse. You relapse. Because that's what I was going to talk about today, relapse, but I changed it. I'm going to do that in the next one. You are still welcome to come back. There is no, oh, you used, you can't come back. No. You get to come back. You come back and you go to another meeting. It's great. It's really great how it works. So, yeah. So, let's see. For some reason, my thing keeps freezing up. I'm telling you, it's this Riverside thing. It just starts freezing up on me, like my screen. It's doing it right now. I don't know. So I'm hoping that if you guys are watching, that's what's doing it. I don't know why it's doing it. It just keeps like freezing up on me. Weird. So let's say it did not work. The Renaissance guys in which we okay. So all right. So it says the principle of surrender guides us into a way of life in which we draw strength from a power greater than ourselves. Our daily surrender to our higher power provides the help we need. As addicts, we have trouble with acceptance, which is critical to our recovery. There you go. Daily surrender. Did you hear what I just said? As addicts, we have trouble with acceptance, which is critical to our recovery. I actually need to highlight that. So basically, that is saying we have a hard time accepting things, the truth, things that are right in front of our face, accepting that we have a problem with drugs and alcohol. You know, I remember when I was younger and I was drinking a lot. I remember my grandma started calling me an alcoholic. I think I was 20, 20, 21, 22. And I was already being called an alcoholic. And I was like, nah, I'm not an alcoholic. I was like, I'm just young. You know, I'm just drinking a lot because I'm young and I can, because I'm old enough. I mean, I was drinking before I was old enough. But what I'm saying is, I was already being called that. And at the time, I thought it was a joke. Like, I wasn't accepting that. I'm not an alcoholic. What are you talking about, Grandma? I just drink. I drink a little too much sometimes. Doesn't mean I'm an alcoholic. The problem with addiction is you have to realize for yourself when you have a problem. Like, other people are going to tell you. They're going to notice that you're drinking a lot, or if you have a drug problem, and they're going to tell you that, listen, you have a problem. Like, you're an alcoholic. And if you don't believe that in your own brain, then you're not going to think you're an alcoholic or an addict. The problem is you have to realize it. You have to realize it. Because until you realize it, you're never going to get sober. It's going to take you a while because you're going to think you don't have this problem. I was like that too. And then I started realizing later on in my 20s, my late 20s, that I had a problem. My life started getting very unmanageable. Very, very unmanageable. When we refuse to practice acceptance, we are in effect still denying our faith in a higher power. Worrying is a lack of faith. So basically, you have to believe in something. I mean, a lot of people I had a hard time believing in God at first too. I would go to meetings and I hear everybody talking about God and I'd be like, I don't believe in that. Like I struggled with the God part a lot. And a lot of people in recovery do. They struggle with that. It's because you don't see God. God's there. Like I believe in God now because I'm still sober. Those feelings I had that were inside me that made me use, okay? When I don't know if I'm pretty sure I told a story on here about my 7-month thing. They went away out of nowhere and they haven't been back. Like, I don't get cravings at all. Like, I don't want to use. And I feel like that's my higher power, man. Like, my higher power is there. Just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And that's the thing that people got to get rid of. They ridicule the God thing in meetings. It's there for a reason. The reason, I think it's 67 times in the AA book, God. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, 67 times. So you'll find out where it's 67 times in that book. And the books, like these books, for instance, so I'll show you. There's stories in here that I'd like to eventually start reading. So the book, it's only, I don't even know how many pages. Well, the book itself is like 4 and some pages, but there's stories in here. You know what I mean? So, like, the steps are great too. Yeah, it's just crazy, the stuff that's in this book. This book is a really good book. I recommend if you go to meetings, whether you go to NA or AA, you get these books. You get them because they are great. Like, It's like the Bible of recovery. You know what I mean? Like, you have this book, and it's the Bible of recovery. So, like, I have my Bible of recovery right here with me. I'm just trying to look for my page because we do recover, because I lost my page. There it is. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're back. But yeah, no, this book, man, this is the NA Bible. And then I have the AA Bible. Like, they're the Bibles of the recovery. It's all here. And they've only changed a couple of times throughout all the years they've been around. Like, I'm trying to think, when did AA start? Oh, God, I don't remember exactly the year. It started in Ohio. I mean, they have Dr. Bob and Bill W.'s house. Well, Bill W.'s house out there. You can go visit. Once a year they do it on his birthday. I think, or the birthday of AA. And you get coins. Oh, it's cool. I've never been to it. I want to go. I don't think it's in Akron, Ohio. I forget where it is. It's in Ohio. I'd really love to go and check that out. I recommend, if you're in Ohio, I'll find out where it is in the next episode. I'll tell you guys. And I'd recommend you guys go check it out. It's a history thing, man. It's the start of what recovery started. Bill W. and Dr. Bob. They're the two that started this, and a couple of people. It started as nothing. And look at it now. Look at recovery now. Recovery is crazy. Recovery's awesome. Recovery is awesome. Surrendering our will puts us in contact with a higher power who fills the empty place inside that nothing could ever fill. And that's what your higher power does. Perfect. So, when you're an addict, when you're craving, you have this hole inside your chest. You have, something's missing in you. You're born without, it's like your puzzle piece. You're missing one puzzle piece to you. Yeah, your whole body's there, but that one piece, that one puzzle piece. And I've seen people get this tattoo, which is really cool. They get like a little spot of a puzzle piece somewhere on their body. You know, they get the tattoo of a puzzle piece, but it's missing. Because that's the part of them that's missing. There's always a part of you that's missing. It's like you need to find something to fill it. So we fill it with alcohol and drugs, or whatever your addiction is. You fill it with gambling, like I said, you fill it with food, or you fill it with sex, or you fill it with anything. Whatever you're addicted to. This is for anybody. This is called a recovery podcast. It's not just about drugs and alcohol. I'm just an alcoholic addict. But, you know, everybody tries to fill this void in them with whatever their addiction is. Whatever you're addicted to, that's what you're trying to fill it with. You know, so you have to, that's a cool tattoo. I thought about getting it, actually. But yeah, you know, like, so you fill it with your higher power. You let your higher power give you love that you need. You let it sink into you, you know, and it will work. Everybody has a higher power. Everybody. You just have to know where to look for it. You have to know how to feel that higher power. It's there. It's always been there. It can't make you be sober. It could just guide you and help you and do good things for you, and it will. I promise, especially if you get sober, it will. It will help you. Surrendering our will puts in contact with the higher power, fills empty place. We learn to trust God for help daily. So that's basically saying we let our God or your higher power, I'm going to say higher power because it does say we learn to trust God for help. God is helping you daily through your day. He will help you stay sober. I wake up and pray real quick when I get up, just asking for another day of sobriety. And then I go about my day. And that's me having God close to me, or whatever it is, to look out for me for that day, to protect me from using. God, please, you know, thank you for giving me another day sober yesterday, and here's to another one today. And then I try to just do my day. And I can be sober today. And it's God's doing. This is God's doing. Living just for today relieves the burden of the past and the fear of the future. That's another good one. See what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I was trying to grab my highlighter, but I guess I can't. It's okay. I can all after. So, living just for today relieves the burden of the past and the fear of the future. That is so good, because what that is saying is that you stay sober just for today, okay? You just stay sober today. That's all you got to do. You stay sober today. You don't have to worry about yesterday, because yesterday's gone. Whatever happened yesterday, you cannot undo. It's done. Whatever just happened 2 seconds ago, I can't undo. It's gone. Every second is into the future, and every second is the past. if that makes sense to people. Think about that, what I just said. Every second is the future and the past. Just really think about that for a second, okay? I'm going to leave you for a second to think about it. Every second is the future and the past. Because every second you go into the future and every second is behind you now. So if you just stay sober today, you could do it a minute at a time. You could do it an hour at a time. You could do it a couple hours at a time. Whatever you need to do to get sober, man, that's all you do. You just do it like that. And it works. But you got to stay with people in recovery. You got to stay around good people. You got to get rid of people, places, and things, man. You have to. You know, like sometimes you can't, and I understand that. I'm not saying that everybody can do that. Some people still have to go live where they lived. But I recommend it, man. Change the people you're hanging around with. Change things you're doing in your life. Do new things. You know, you got to change things up because you don't want to go back and do the same things you were doing when you were using or drinking, but you're just not, because you're going to be miserable. Go to a lot of meetings. Like, you have to put the things of recovery in your life when you get sober. Meetings, especially meetings, man. I recommend going to meetings every day for your first year. Every day go to a meeting, because the more you put recovery in your brain and you listen to it, man, the more chances you have of staying sober. Like, that's a fact. I did it for the first year. I was going to sometimes 5 meetings a day. My sponsor was picking up. We were doing meetings all day. That's why I didn't get a job my first year. I was with my grandma. She said, no, I'd rather you get sober, because I was going to get a job. I almost had a job right before I got sober, and I almost found a job. And then it wound up not happening because it wasn't meant to happen, because that was my higher power's work. My higher power said, no, Chris, you're going to take this year and you're going to get sober. And my grandma was okay with me not working at the time. Because I was living with my grandma. I moved out of state. I had to go live back upstate with my grandma. And she didn't want me drinking anymore. I was drinking a lot. I was doing drugs. And she just didn't want me doing anymore. And she was so proud of me. And I did meetings. So I recommend, man, you don't have to go to 5 meetings a day. I'm not recommending that. That's just what happened with me. Go to 1 meeting every day. If you are just starting out today, today's almost over, but all right, we'll say tomorrow then. You start going to meetings tomorrow. Go to 1 meeting every day. They say 90 meetings in 90 days. That's the first 3 months. That means just go to a meeting every day, just 1, because the more you're around sober people, you're going to start meeting new people. You're going to make new friends. You're going to find new interests. You're going to be around safe people, not people that are going to tempt you to get. When you get sober and you're all around your old friends, like for instance, okay, you're drinking buddies. Say you're an alcoholic. You're just an alcoholic and you drink all the, you have your drinking buddies. Say after like 3 months you're not drinking, they're going to start like not wondering where you are. They're going to learn, they're going to know that you're sober, and then guess what's going to happen? They're not even going to like start asking you to come out. You're not going to be hanging out with them because you don't drink anymore. Like, that's a good thing. You have to realize the people that you need in your life and the people you don't. That's why they say people, place, and things. You really need to change people, place, and things when you first get sober. Like me, unfortunately, I still live in the same town. I moved back to Jersey. I moved back to the same town that this wire for this microphone is a little low. I'm gonna have to fix that up. No, I moved back to the town. When I moved back, I had over 2 years sober. I knew I didn't want to use, and I knew what town I was moving back to, and I knew that I didn't want to use. So I knew that even if I move back here, I'm not going to use because I don't want to. But if you're just freshly getting sober and you move back, you go back to where you are, you have a good chance of relapsing already. Like, your success rate is not very good. The success rate of recovery is not very good. It's sad how I think it's like 7 or 10%. When I heard that, I was like, what? Because there's a lot of sober people out there. But yeah, the percentage it's very low. It's not good. It's just, it's tough, man. We learn to trust God. Living just for today relieves the burden of the past and the fear of the future. See? Just remember that. Living just for today relieves the burden of the past and the fear of the future. It really does. That is such a proven fact. We learn to take whatever actions are necessary and to leave the results in the hands of our higher power. So that is a good one. We learn to take whatever actions are necessary. Okay. So we learn to take whatever actions are necessary. That's the actions of you getting sober. Start going to meetings. Changing your people, places, and things. Getting phone numbers at meetings. Making friends at meetings. Looking for a sponsor when you're ready. people say you should get a sponsor as soon as you get started. I don't recommend that. I recommend going to meetings for 3 months and feeling people out. Because you don't even know these people yet, and you're already having someone sponsor you. Like, I don't agree with, I hate when they would say that. Get a sponsor right away. No, like, I remember my first meeting when I went to, when I got sober, and I already had 2 guys trying to sponsor me, and I'm like, I don't want to sponsor you. I don't even know you guys yet. Like, I got to spill my beans to you? I don't want to do that. No. So I say wait at least 3 months to get a sponsor. Start hitting meetings. Find the meeting that you like the most and make your home group. That becomes your home group meeting, the one that you go to the most. That's why they call it a home group. Feel people out in the meetings before you choose a sponsor. I feel like people rush to get a sponsor right away, and then you don't even know the person. My sponsor I met in, not even in the program. I was going to a thing outside of the program because I put myself in it to help me get sober, and it was what was it? Outpatient. I forget. It was called Scasis. It was upstate New York. It was really good. I went for 11 months. I did it the whole first year. And that's where I met my sponsor, Ken. He only had 2 months more than me, too. I don't recommend that because it was a little tough. He was a good sponsor. He took me a lot of meetings, but he wasn't the right sponsor for me. I actually don't have a sponsor at the moment. I should get one, and I need to do that myself. But I don't recommend going to meetings and jumping into a sponsorship with somebody who you don't even really know yet. It's just not a good idea. So that's my intake on that. So I don't recommend that. So yeah, we learn to take whatever actions are necessary and to leave the results in the hands of our higher power. So just do the work and let the higher power do the rest. You don't have to stress yourself. Recovery is supposed to be a great journey. It's the journey. You always want to remember the journey. You always remember a lot of the crap you went through when you were using, right? So you want to remember the stuff that you have when you're sober. So yeah, let the higher power leave the results up to the higher power. It will happen. You will see it. I promise you, you will. You absolutely will. You got to give recovery time to work. Recovery needs time to work. The Narcotics Anonymous program is spiritual. Yeah, it's very spiritual. That's why they talk about God. And I was the same way. When I first went to NA and AA and they talked about God. I remember the first time I went to a meeting and they were talking about God and I was like, what the hell is this, church? It's like, I don't want to go to church. Like, I don't want to, it was weird and I didn't understand. Now I get it. So if you've never been to a meeting before and you go to a meeting and they're going to talk about God, don't let it scare you. That doesn't scare you because it's not a God program. It's just God's in the words. It's there because it needs to be. Because it's spiritual. You have to find your spirit animal in you, or your spirituality. And you can and you will in recovery. It's definitely very spiritual. We strongly suggest that members make an attempt to find a higher power of their understanding. Now this is good, because your higher power is whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be God. They just say God. It actually doesn't have to be God. Remember that. So, it does not have to be God. They just say we strongly suggest that members make an attempt to find a higher power of their understanding. So that's why they say of your understanding. Because it's a good thing. Because it's of what you think your higher power is. That's what they're saying. Some of us have profound spiritual experiences, dramatic and inspirational in nature. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that happens to everybody. There's some things in this book I'm not going to be able to totally talk about because I don't understand something like that. Some of us have profound spiritual experiences, dramatic and inspirational in nature. Okay, I get, yeah. For others, the awakening is more subtle. We recover in an atmosphere of acceptance and respect for one another's beliefs. So what that's saying is we recover in an atmosphere of acceptance and respect for one another's beliefs. So that's just saying respect your neighbor. When you're in a meeting, respect people. I mean, that's what I'm getting from that. Respect each other. You're there to respect you're there to help each other be sober. That's the point of it. The point is to get sober and spread the word. Another thing is you can't keep recovery unless you give it away. You got to give recovery away, baby. You got to give recovery away. And Yep, that's right. You got to give recovery away to keep it. If you don't, then what's the point? All right? We try to avoid the self-deception of arrogance and self-righteousness. So, yeah, you just don't be so arrogant. don't walk in a meeting and think you're better than everybody too. No matter, don't think you're better than anybody, because everybody's always one drink and one drug away from relapsing. I'm just one drink and one drug away from losing everything. So don't walk in a meeting thinking you got a couple years and you're better than everybody, because you're not. You're not better than anybody. You're an alcoholic addict just like them. Everybody's the same in the rooms. We're all equal. And there are people, I've seen people like that in the rooms that think they're just better because they just are. I don't know why. That's so, it is what it is, man. You're going to have meetings like that. You know, I mean, this one guy, I remember I would go to a meeting. It was an AA meeting, and his name was Jeremiah. That's all I know. I don't know his last name. I wanted to become friends with him eventually. He was an older guy. He was a lot older than me. He was probably in his 60s. He's been in AA for 30-some years. And as soon as I would talk about drugs in AA, oh my God, he didn't want to hear anybody talking about drugs in AA, because AA is just for Alcoholics Anonymous, for alcoholics, and I get that. And the only thing I don't understand is because if you go to NA, you can talk about alcohol. They don't want to throw you out. They don't want to, like, not throw you out, but they don't care, because a drug is a drug. Alcohol is a drug, just like drugs are a drug. Alcohol is a drug. It's a liquid drug. It's a liquid drug you drink and you get intoxicated from. So I would have to sit there, but I'm an alcoholic, so it was okay. So, like, but there's some people who might just be an addict. They might just have a problem with drugs. And the only meeting they can go to is an AA meeting, and then you're going to belittle somebody because they're talking about drugs. Maybe that they need, like, you don't do that. No matter what meeting you go, if you go to AA or NA, man, if you got to talk about drugs, you should be allowed to do it. It's a meeting. Yeah, I'm getting a little heated on that one, because I forgot all about that. I just started thinking about that right now. As we develop faith in our daily lives, we find that our higher power supplies us with the strength and guidance that we need. It does. Like, your higher power will guide you. You will be surprised. It really will. Like, it's amazing what the higher power does. It comes in your life, and it guides you, and your days are so much better because of the higher power. Like, higher power fills, man, that hole that you didn't think you could fill with anything else. You always say you had to fill with alcohol and drugs. You can fill with higher power, and it works. It's great. You know what I mean? Like, mine, I'm in such a great spiritual place. Like, I know where I stand and what I am, and I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to keep believing what I believe in, and that's just how it is. Each of us is free to work out our own concept of a higher power. So right there, each of us is free to work out our own concept of a higher power. Again, that's telling you to whatever you believe your higher power is. That's what your higher power is. Your higher power can be a friggin' piece of paper. If it's keeping your ass sober, then you need to keep that piece of paper. That's what it's saying. I'm not saying make a piece of paper your higher power or anything like that, you know. No, don't do that. I'm not telling you to do that. It's just an analogy. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I'm just saying, your kids could be your higher power. Your home, if you're about to lose it, could be your higher power. A tree could be, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Not a piece of paper. It's just an analogy. You know what I mean? So now I gotta figure out where I was. Tell my higher power, understand some of my profound truth. Yeah, because, each of us is free to work at our own concept. Yeah, okay. Many of us were suspicious and skeptical because of disappointments that we've had with religion. So, that's another thing. So, basically, when I had the same thing. I went to Sunday school when I was young. I went to Sunday school for like 12 years. And I loved Sunday school. It was fun. But as soon as I went upstairs at church for the last hour, I hated it. I was young. I didn't understand it. It was boring, So, like, if you had a problem with religion in the beginning, don't think that's what the program's about. Like, you're going there to learn about God. No, you're going to learn about yourself. There's just God there. It's good. God is good. Remember that. The big G-O-D. It's good. It's good that it's there, because if it wasn't there, this program wouldn't work. You didn't have spirituality in this program, it wouldn't work. The program would fall apart. It would have fell apart, and there'd be so many people dead from this disease. There's already a lot of people dead from this disease. It'd be a lot worse. Thank God it's not a lot worse than this, because I could be dead from this. Because if I didn't find the rooms 9+ years ago, I would be dead. There's no doubt. I would have nowhere to go to learn to get sober. So I would have never got sober. I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'm sure I wouldn't be doing this. As a new member As new members, the talk of God we heard in meetings repelled us. There it is. It repels you. It turns off a lot of new people when they first start going to hear about God. I don't want to talk about God. Like, it's just, for some reason, the God talk is a turnoff. I mean, it's like politics. Religion and politics are the two hardest things to talk about, they say, because there's so many different views of what's going on with God and politics. I mean, I got my own views. Everybody's got their own views. Everybody's got their own ways of talking and thinking about politics and religion. So I get that. Until we sought our own answers in this area, we were trapped in the ideas gathered from our past. Agnostics, here you go. Agnostics and atheists sometimes start by just talking to whatever's there. There's a good one. So there's going to be, agnostics and atheists out there who go to meetings, which they have meetings for those people too if they really want to go. So they don't believe in God and stuff. Atheists, I'm not really sure I think they don't believe in anything really. So I don't really know what their higher power would be. I mean, maybe that would be the paper. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm saying maybe it'd be just something like that. Because obviously if they're agnostic or atheist, they have to believe in something to be sober. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's a spirit no, actually, hang on. Yeah, if you have a hard time believing in God, I mean, you could be an atheist antagonist. That's okay. Agnostic. I'm sorry, not antagonist. Agnostic. And that's your choice. You're allowed to be that. But don't go in meetings if you are like that and ruin it for other people who actually believe. Because I've been in meetings where there's people like that and they ruin it. They're like, oh, why you believe in that? Like I've been in a lot of different meetings. You need to believe in what you believe. If you don't believe in God, then there's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to. I didn't believe in God for a long time. I just started believing in God a couple years ago. So that wasn't like, oh, automatically, I believe in God. Cool. Like, no, it took time. It took me a lot of time. There is a spirit or an energy that can be felt in the meetings. Yes. Absolutely. Let me tell you something, man. I remember one day I was in a bad mood. I think I had like a year and a half sober. I was in a bad mood. I woke up in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood all day, and I wound up going to a meeting. And I didn't want to go to the meeting because I was in such a. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be around anybody. I just wanted to sit home and sulk in my pity. And my sponsor's like, no, let's go. You're going. If you don't have to drag out the damn house, I'm making you go. I'm like, all right, Ken, whatever. So I went. And let me tell you something, man. I walked in that meeting. As soon as I walked in, my whole attitude started changing. I could feel the love in the meeting. Like, I'm not making this up. As soon as I walked in that door, my mood started changing already. It was just weird how I was in this bad mood all day. Poor me, poor Chris. And then I felt so much better just by going in that room and sitting with those people that loved me for who I was. And by the end of the meeting, I was still, upset and stuff, but my mood was so different. I felt so much happier because I was around these great people in a meeting that was great. So yeah, man, let me tell you, you can definitely feel the spirituality in a meeting. This is sometimes the newcomer's first concept of a higher power. It is. Sometimes you don't even know what that is, and then you walk in the room and you feel this bond of power and energy, and you're just like, what is this? And sometimes you don't. That's why it says this is sometimes the newcomer's first concept of higher power. Well, you learn about higher power, usually in every meeting you hear about higher power. So you're going to learn of what it is. You know what I mean? Ideas from the past are often incomplete and unsatisfactory. Everything we know is subject to revision, especially what we know about the truth. Yeah. We reevaluate our old ideas so we can become acquainted with the new ideas that lead to a new way of life. I like this one. See, I'm not going to talk about everything in the book because there's some things I don't find interesting to talk about. This I do. We reevaluate our old ideas so we can become acquainted, okay, with the new ideas that led to a new way of life. So that's saying like your ideas, the new ideas you're having are leading to your new way of life. So you're getting a new way of life. Like that's what it is. It's like you're born again. That's why I got sober on my birthday. Because when you get sober, you're reborn. You're born into a new life. And they'll ask you, what's your belly button birthday and your birthday? Your belly button birthday is your actual birthday when you were actually born. You got it? The bill cord's on your belly button. That's why they ask. And then they ask you about your real, your birthday, your sobriety birthday. So they'll be like, yeah, but that's, Yeah, the ideas come in, you go in a new way of life. We recognize that we are human with a physical, mental, and spiritual sickness. So, we recognize that we are human with a physical, mental, and spiritual sickness. You're broken. You're broken mentally, you're broken physically, and you're broken spiritually. And over time, the breakage will go away. You'll start feeling healed. You'll start feeling the power of your higher power. You'll start feeling the power of recovery. Like I said, the only way recovery works is if you do it. You have to be able to work recovery, because it's like you did all that work to get drunk and high. You got to do it in recovery. You don't just stop drinking and using and think everything's just going to snap your fingers and it just happens. It takes work. When we accept that our addiction caused our own hell and that there is a power available to help us, we begin to make progress in solving our problems. Yeah, we do. We start solving our problems. I'm going to read that again. When we accept that our addiction caused our own hell, when we accept that our addiction, means again, caused our own hell. So that's saying your addiction caused your hell. It's your problem. You have an addiction problem, you're an addict, and it caused your hell. You know what I mean? So that's, and that there is a power available to help us. We begin to make progress in solving our problems. So when you start realizing there's a higher power out there, and it'll start guiding you, you'll start feeling better. Like you'll start noticing your attitude will change, your philosophy of things will change. Things will start changing, and they'll change in a good way. It's amazing the things that happen when you let God into your life. You know what I mean? Like, you got to let God into your life. I got, here you go. I want to read actually how it works to you guys, because how it works is good. I got to do 12 traditions. I got to do the steps. I got to write the steps down. I'll do that too, because I didn't do the steps. I wrote down the traditions, so I have to write down the steps. There we go. So how it works, if you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the effort to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. Oh, duh, I did write, so I'm retarded. You know why? Because the way I wrote it, I forgot that I didn't write it like the step flat form. So it just looks, see, I had to write it different because I didn't make the writing too small. I should have made it smaller, the writing, and I could have fit it the way I wanted it to. I wanted it to look, so I'm going to show you, whoever's watching this, I wanted it to look like this format. That's the 12 traditions. I'll read them both to you, and then, one of my episodes I'll talk about them, but I'll read it. So how it works. If you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the effort to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. These are the principles that made our recovery possible. Step 1. I can't believe I printed these and I said I did. I'm dumb. Anyway, excuse me. Step 1. We admitted we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives were unmanageable. Step 1, I'm going to read it again. We admitted. So we're admitting. We were powerless over our addiction. I was powerless over my addiction. My addiction had all the power over me. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, man. I had no power over my addiction. That our lives were unmanageable. Our lives were unmanageable. Step 2. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So step 2 is we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Step 3. We made a decision to turn our will over to the care of God as we understood Him.